So boy, it's definitely interesting being a Vegeta fan right now. Well, we've finally got Super Saiyan 3, and that means we finally get to see every transformation that Vegeta could offer Super Saiyan form. So, PogChamp. Alright, hey boys, what's up? Welcome back. And before we begin getting onto this adventure once more, I'd like to make mention of one thing. So, I've mentioned Great Park Coliseum already, but what you might not know is that Bob here has been doing a little bit of digging around. Let me go ahead and pause the game for you for a minute. I'd like to bring your guys' attention to something interesting. Now, there is a story mode for a Great Park Coliseum. Now, that being said, it's kind of weird. First of all, it looks like it's every character might have multiple branching paths to get to a conclusion, which is kind of fun, but it's very text driven. And given that there's no given translation for this game, I don't know how viable this would actually be to do, but I still want to give it a shot. It looks remarkably fun, and also, you know, getting the B-side for this whole crossover event would also be kind of fun, but yeah, also we have to deal with some of the funny artwork, so, you know. I'll try this out on stream later on. Be sure, again, to follow me on twitch.tv in order to see me practicing the games live, but, well, it'd be very funny. I can definitely say that much at the very least. So, back on to things with Vegeta. Now, I have, obviously, me being me, I have put amount of time into Vegeta. So, I do know how to do stuff with him. He's a very fun character in this game. Let's see if I remember this correctly. I think both forms, if I remember off the top of my head, are solidly mid-tier. And by mid-tier, I mean like upper mid-tier, something like that. Around like, let's see, SS rank was like the top characters. It was like S rank, A rank. I want to say that his forms fall around A rank. And I managed to figure out the common routes for him decently well. So luckily, in terms of using Vegeta, he's got some pretty cool stuff. And maybe before I forget again, I have one more thing I want to show off to you guys. Okay, so really fast before we begin, I want to showcase these two special promo characters that were included here. Now again, if you're a Dragon Ball Heroes player, first of all, I apologize deeply on your behalf. But also, these two that did make their way over from the arcade game to this. Is it an arcade game? I think it's arcade-esque. Anyway. So, Super Saiyan 4, Gohan, and Broly. Now, these will never appear in any other game I ever cover, period. Unless I do Heroes. Go figure. Now, that being said, though, yeah, they only appear really as assists. There have been mods obviously done to make these characters playable if you use different colorations for, like, at least Broly. Yeah, well, we got that at the very least. So, I personally think this is pretty fucking neat. Obviously, giving everyone a Super Saiyan 4 transformation or giving everyone every vapid different Super Saiyan form in that game is kind of just a running trend. Like, we have Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, which did find its way into the Xenoverse too, funny enough. But that being aside that being the case, I think both these forms are totally okay. Broly obviously makes sense for having Super Saiyan 4 because, well, I mean, full-blooded Saiyan, so it kind of checks out. Just get him a tail back, show him the full moon. I don't know if I trust him to be able to regain his consciousness while transforming into a monkey, but you know details. Gohan, I'm a little bit more tenuous on because I feel like there should be deviations between what regular Saiyans can achieve and what hybrid Saiyans can achieve. Like, if we keep it so... Let me be exact about this. I don't know how I feel about making it so hybrid Saiyans can get Super Saiyan 3 or Super Saiyan God. Probably not Super Saiyan God at the very least, but letting them have, like, you know, Beast, I think that's totally fine. Personally speaking, I think, like, divvying up the lineages and the lines of forms, I think it's kind of cool. But also, again, I think Super Saiyan 4 Gohan with Piccolo's pants on looks pretty fine. I really wish we actually gave him dark green hair for the body, but yeah, that's just me. Or maybe brown, either or. One thing that I wish that the forms retained, though, was that back with Goku, Vegeta, and Gogeta, it was such that every Super Saiyan 4 had unique colorations for the different gradients of red on their fur. Like, you might remember this if you know anything about the show. Super Saiyan 4 Goku had like more of a scarlet red, Vegeta had a crimson red, and Gogeta had red head hair but had like brown hair on his body. I think that really made it so each of them felt unique, but Now it's like Gohan and Broly, both of them just have the standard like crimson hair. I think it's kind of boring. You know what I mean? I feel like if you were to actually make it so it's different hues of red for every single one of them, or maybe just break away from red and give each of them different colorations in general, I think that would go pretty fucking hard. But we didn't go with that route. But at least Bar too. I completely forgot about that fact. Or if we like kept it so the hair change, I think at least like giving them everyone mullets does still go pretty hard, unironically. But anyway, I'm gonna watch all really fast because this will never come up ever again. Again, unless you guys want me to do Dragon Ball Heroes, which you're insane if you want me to, but I mean, I'm not opposed to it, I guess. Anyway, Virginia time. Time for fun. Across space and time. Damn, bro, we don't need to go time traveling. Like, literally, why would we specify space and time? What kind of weird? Of a mere 1,000? They Gohan peaked at 1,200, I think. It's funny because really, if Vegeta and Nappa know about the Dragon Balls, then they should know about Namek already, so they shouldn't be surprised that they can grant wishes. It always just came across like this is the first time they've heard about this. Yeah, Desires light years only measures distance. Yeah, it does. The thought of never-ending life is tempting, don't you agree? What you want is invincibility. You don't want immortality, because if you just wish for immortality, that just means Frieza will kill you over and over and over again. That's not what you want. I don't know, maybe the Zenkai boost will eventually kick in at some point in time, who knows? Maybe that's just an infinite strength code for the Zenkai boost, who knows? Anyway, hi Tien and Yamcha, who really should have been playable. I'm never gonna stop harping on that. I still think it's a bit of a crime that at least Tien is not playable. Holy shit. It's also odd. I don't know. I feel like if we were to... I wish we could axe Nappa and make Tien playable. You know what I mean, chat? I feel like that would probably be like the way to go. Anyway, well, at least we're going for this. Luckily, we don't have to worry about being forced to play as a Cyberman, so we at least got that going for us. Alright, well, so, wait, hold on. Well, we're starting with Vegeta at least, so that's something. Okay, luckily I do know how to use him quite a bit, so that's good. If you press circle neutral with him, he jumps up into the air and does a rapid ki blast. If you've ever played the fan game Hyper Dragon Ball Z, there's some design elements of Vegeta carryovers from there. Not carry over from there, but use the other way around, you know what I mean. Vegeta is a fairly standard character, luckily. He's just, once again, he's basically Goku with a lot of ki blasts, so that's pretty cool. Jumping circle with him, however, will do a downwards knee strike. I'm sorry, I honestly disagree. We should always keep Nappa. It's not that I necessarily don't think Nappa should be playable. It's more so that if I would be willing to trade off Nappa for Tien, personally. But yeah, if you remember anything about Scouter Vegeta in Dragon Ball FighterZ, this downwards knee drop might seem familiar to you. Yeah, the move he used to crush Burter's larynx, as well as the fact that this is like usually his famous combo ender. We can't go straight into super, unfortunately, but you know details. Alright, so basic supers we got, upwards, Final Flash. Funny enough, Final Flash in base form is always just kind of neat to look at in my book. That's one of my pet peeves with Extreme Butoden, Tien and Yamcha not being fully playable. Yeah, seriously, it's just like, there's a lot of characters I think really should get the action exchange with others, but, you know, its arc system works, weird stuff goes on with their decision making sometimes. Not giving them too much shit, I'm just saying that there's some more important conclusions. Oh, hello, Galacun. Also, accurate Galacun, that does not come up too often. Are we gonna beam struggle with distractor discs? Alright, so, beam struggling. You just mash buttons in order to overwhelm them, more or less. It's pretty standard, don't worry too much about this. Cut out Gohan. Nigel, I will cut you. I'm joking. Also, you saw there, yes, you can jump cancel against a ground target off of one of your standard attacks. Also, I don't know why Vegeta's eyes there during his victory animation turned green. I have no idea if someone fucked up with a pixel art for that one. Oof. Maybe I should show off Nappa because I mean, he doesn't have assignment summoning here, so he doesn't have to be like 5-head to use them, I guess. Making the assumption that the dude who's big and burly is somehow better in the air than on the ground. That's kind of funny, actually. Once again, totally not Mark, definitely knocked out of the park with saying that what really set Vegeta apart as in terms of a threat level for these guys is not the fact that, not just because of the power level, but because like he is genuinely cunning and devious and like really like he's able to think on his feet, you know? Now, that being said, throw him a challenge of someone being stronger than him, and all of a sudden, all the IQ goes right out the front door. But if he has to fight to survive like this in the Namek Saga, really go pretty hard with that. I mean, cut both Super Saiyan, Adult Gohan, and Base Gohan. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Definitely, the problem is Base Gohan is meant to represent both. More meant to represent Kid Gohan. I think that's a bigger issue here. I don't know why they went with that route. It's like, yeah, we got Teen Gohan, but we don't have a Kid Gohan. We don't want to draw a Kid Gohan, so let's just change it. Why not? Literally that. So we're just jumping. What is not paying attention? Who are we using here right now? Vegeta was confused by Goku's sudden increase in power. Oh, here we are. I have no use of a Saiyan who can't move. You think that the healing pods will be able to overcome paralysis, but I guess not. Weird. I'm going to guess that Toriyama just had written that at this point in time, so yeah. A Saiyan who can't move is useless. I feel like I could find examples where that's not the case, but you know details. I don't know, maybe make him into psychic wizard or something else. We made a fight out of this. I forgot that. Oh yeah, let Nappa just stand up off the ground and defend himself. Yeah, totally. All right. But yeah, usual combo with Vegeta is gonna look something like this, or rather, that's the saga pressure. Oof. However, I will say, doing the ki blast in the air can result in some very funny cross-ups. The problem is you can't really do air combos with them because of the fact that, well, the jump heavy has a lot of fucking hits done to it. Or rather, like, it wants to immediately like, ground bounce them. Not a ground bounce, but like just knock them to the ground. So I don't think I've expressed this slight criticism I have the game enough, but trying to do jump canceling in this game, you know, like your usual air light, air heavy, jump cancel, air light, or air heavy combo, that kind of stuff, it's very difficult. I think it has to do with like the lack of hit stop with the moves or something. Hey, we gotta get our obligatory Nappa fight in the story. All the other ones had Nappa fight. I guess Vegeta didn't want to be left out. Yeah, true. Very true. Let's fucking bail. Well, at least Vegeta did get the kill on him. Me realizing that a lot of the big fights Vegeta would have had throughout the show are just not present here. So as a result, yeah, we really had to find ways to pad this out. Don't you know what that means? We had to have Vegeta fight Ginyu 5 times now. I say, but we got to fight Ginyu and Tenkaichi 1 4 times, so I'm not even exaggerating that much. I'm very glad though that Krillin at least held on to the nugget of information about Namekians coming from Namek, and you know, being able to piece together that if our Kami, our Namekian could create Dragon Balls, then maybe they have their own. I prefer I have no use for Paralyzed Saiyan because it implies Vegeta do it to his Saiyan in the wheelchair. God, that's so good. He's enough of a bastard in this time period that, yeah, he would totally do that. Again, that's the point. All right, let's see. Yeah, we couldn't get... Jazz, could we playable in Striking Zero? I was going to make that joke, but I actually do not know offhand. I don't want to be wrong about that. I'm probably wrong about that, but it'd be still very, very funny anyway. If it wasn't for Cologne, the Namekians would be extinct or endangered considering Monaido. Oh, also, Frieza would have immortality, and that would not be good for anyone, especially when Frieza eventually comes to Earth. Oof. You know, in pinch, this kind of excites me. Yeah, you just gotta push with the third one there, buddy. Again, the push and pull of these two is so good because Vegeta is just a mountain that Goku has to be willing to throw himself to climb over. Even if, you know, power leveling shouldn't matter. I know power leveling shouldn't matter that much since we just had a fight earlier with Rats where Goku said that the bigger power doesn't always win. But Goku is here trying to specifically climb over Vegeta's power. If it wasn't for Krillin, Gohan, and Piccolo would have died with no time for Goku. Yeah, true. Also, yeah, Kui is there, but Super 17, Pikkon isn't? Oh my god. Chat, I am dying. I'm fucking losing my mind. God. No Super 17, no Pikkon. Probably a lot of other important conclusions I might be thinking about that aren't even in the game. Yeah. It do be like that sometimes. Listen, trying to be a fan of this series is kind of weird sometimes. Let's see. Sure. Ow. Counter hit City? Okay. Force some mix on him. Yeah, unfortunately, Vegeta's air combos aren't going to be too incredibly flashy, but they are usable. Anyway, his ground super is still going to be, this shit. Seems like, I don't know if this is invincible in startup. It definitely feels like it. Oh, hold up. I have enough ki to potentially do, enhanced super. Let me try to do that. I never do these. Thank you, Kakarot, for pushing me to my limits. I think it's a little soon for that one. Wait, so I couldn't go Super Saiyan 2 and fuck against fucking Vegeta earlier with Gohan, but now Vegeta can go Super Saiyan against Goku? Alright. No, it's great. It's funny. It's just really weird. No, I remember it was, couldn't do Super Saiyan, ultimates against Frieza using Goku the first time through before the actual, Super Saiyan transformation. That's so funny. You really do be like that right now, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I guess Vegeta is allowed to boast like this if he got the gold shit. Okay. Going times 3 now. Hiya, what? Ugh. Again, I shouldn't. Okay. Obviously, this shouldn't net him to win immediately, but the fact that he did manage to climb over Vegeta and, like, just shred his pride is so great. I'm number 1 in the universe, except that other guy. Actually, I think at this present time, Vegeta is probably like number... Oh god, I even think about the Ginyu Force. I'm about to say number 5 on the totem pole, but actually not even there. Like, not even top 10, I don't think. Because Ginyu Force, Zarbon, Dodoria, Frieza especially, Beerus. How much more? Fucking Broly. He's still out there running around somewhere. Yeah. Kaioken times 4 Kamehameha. Dang. I just realized also, like, we've seen flashbacks of Broly in Legendary Super Saiyan where he already has Super Saiyan and he's running around just, like, blowing up planets. Like, shouldn't that mean within the canon of the timeline that Broly probably was the first Super Saiyan? Like, here? That's just what I'm realizing. Obviously, we're not holding that movie to too high of a credibility considering, you know, South Galaxy, but you know details. Vegeta was definitely weaker than the Mech games. Oh wow, I didn't even think about Nail. Thank you for that, Nigel.